Only coming. So this is the hot glass studio. This is where they make the glasses. So there will be a session here at 12:45.
Glass blowing.
Glass
Blowing.
blowing session. So we are going to see the glass. Let's see if I can show you in from inside. Uh, how they make the glasses. Oh,
You can see me ever.
so we are here today to attend the glass flaying sessions, all the glass blowing sessions. They will show you how to make the glasses. And that's their workshop or factory. You can come here and enjoy the workshop. Today we're going to see how they're going to make these glasses. This is Martin and Martin is going to show us how to make these glasses. This is how they are going to make all those glasses.
To our hot glass studio. You can see Martin Chapiva, our master glass blower, is making something interesting looking. What he's actually going to do is to make a small object to show you how quickly the glass cools down. The glass in our furnace is 1090 degrees centigrade, and it's just clear glass. So Martin put a little bit of colour on there, and he's cooling it down now because he's going to push the body of the object he's going to make into the furnace and gather some more hot glass over the top. So we only have clear glass in the furnace. It's in a crucible, it's a big ceramic pot. Martin's just pushed that little body shape right into the pot, and look at how beautiful that hot glass looks. Okay, just clear glass, but it's so hot, it looks orange. Martin's going to start shaping that now, and I wonder if any of you children will be able to guess what it is that he's making as he's going along. Maybe you could shout out when you think you know what it is. It's very, very soft because it's so hot. All the molecules are slipping and sliding over each other. They just want to go down onto the floor. Look how gloopy it is, yeah? But it's starting to go colder. Just by blowing on the glass much, you can cool the glass down a little bit. Have you got anybody who might be able to guess yet? What do you think? It is a swamp, well done, very good. Yeah, it's very, very gloopy, but the orange glow is not there anymore. The glass is cooling down so quickly, it's stiffening up because the molecules inside are shaking. It's like the glass has got so cold, it's got the shivers, and it's becoming stiff. You can see that the light from above is now reflecting off the glass as it starts to stiffen up. And pretty soon much you won't be able to move it anymore. And if we leave it out, yeah, that's cold now, that glass is cold. So it's gone from hot to cold in less time than you could make a cup of tea in. Yeah? You children definitely couldn't get ready for bed in that time. I know from experience that children getting ready for bed takes a lot longer than that. So, who thinks it's really hot, this glass? Who thinks it's really cold, this glass? This is what we call cold glass. So, let's see what it is. Okay, so although we call it cold glass, it's still about 700 degrees centigrade. If you put your fingers on there, oh dear, boo-hoo, you wouldn't want to do that again. It's very, very hot. So Marty's going to take our little swan off the iron now, and he's going to put it into an oven. That's going to keep the glass nice and hot for the rest of the day. We've got all sorts of wonderful things in that oven. People have been blowing beautiful friendship balls today, and they're all in there, keeping nice and hot. When we go home later, we'll put that oven onto a program. It's going to cool down really slowly to let the glass settle down and anneal. And it will be 14 hours to cool the glass down. Long time. So now Martin's got a blowing iron because he's going to do some glass blowing. That's what you've come to see, isn't it? Yeah, so he's going to do that. First of all, he's going to get a small gather of glass out of the crucible. Now, he makes this look easy. All of these marks on the floor are where people have tried to do this and they've spilled glass everywhere. So that shows you it's not an easy thing to do. Okay, so he's going to start rolling this clear glass over and picking up this lovely coloured glass that he's put out on this special table. A little bit at a time. Some lovely red there, red and white. Okay, now he's going to go and melt those colours. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit.
Take the white off.
Okay. We'll take the white out, as Martin suggests, off the table, and we're going to put it into its own box, because we'll want to use this again. Any other colours in there, just white. So it doesn't feel sharp or anything like that. It's like a coffee granule, but highly concentrated coloured glass is what it is. And Martin's just getting some more red on there. Lots of colour. So I think it looks a bit like an ice cream when it's like this, like a knobbly bobbly. Has anybody ever had one of those? Yeah? You wouldn't want to lick this ice cream. That would be pretty horrible. Have you finished with the red, Martin? Right, let's pop this away. Let's keep nice and tidy. It's a beautiful red, this. It's called poppy red. All the glass has lovely names. And we've got some more colours on here. This one is called amethyst bluish. And this one is called our dark pink extra dense. So this one is made with real gold, very expensive. All of the colours come from different metals. Sometimes they put minerals in with the metals as well. Dark pink extra dense. It's a beautiful colour. And like I say, very expensive. It's about 4 times more expensive than the blue colours. And the blue colours are gorgeous. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Yeah, it's like lapis lazuli. It's called lapis blue. And all of this coloured glass is made by the same company that make the clear glass. We buy all of our glass from one source. And that way we know all of the glass is going to work together. Because there are about 200 different types of glass in the world. And if you put the wrong ones together, then you'll just keep breaking the glass. You won't be happy. So, really important to make sure that we keep everything separate and we only use our own glass. That's why we don't recycle other people's glass. We only recycle our own. And we try to recycle absolutely every scrap that we've got. So that's how we keep our prices down in the shop, because all of the glass that we make here goes to the shop. So Martin's melting all of those little bits of colour over the clear glass. And although this is nice and hot, our furnace, 1090 degrees, very nice and warm in there, the heat chamber is the hottest fire. And I will tell you some more about that in a little while. But what Martin's doing now, he's making a pattern onto the surface of the glass. He's twisting with a pair of tweezers all of those colours together, and they're going around like a little spiral, like water going down a plug hole, you know, it goes around like that. And it's making a really nice design. So on the surface of this vase that Martin is going to make, there'll be a lot of movement. And it will be a lot of fun. Now I'll just put those in some water, because they're hot on the end, where they've been holding onto the glass. And Martin's now that he's made that design, he's got his colours on the glass. He hasn't blown anything yet, because the time isn't right yet. But now he's going to melt all of that glass and make it nice and tidy. Let me show you what a blowing iron looks like. So, here's a blowing iron. It's got a handle. This end is nice and flared. And this flat bit is called the snout. Yeah, like a pig's nose, the snout. And it has a hole that goes through from there, all the way through, and it comes out there. Okay? So what he's got is a gnarly old bit of glass on the top, but he's going to want it really nice and smooth, like a lovely egg, like the promise of an egg of beautifulness, which is what he's going to turn it into. And when he's happy, and this is nice and hot, he's going to blow into this end. He's going to put his thumb over the end. His breath is trapped in the tube. It will get sucked up the tube and it will expand with the lovely hot glass. That's what happens to gases. When you heat them up, they expand and a beautiful bubble will be created inside the glass. Okay? And when Martin has done that remarkable thing, he will have made the inside of the vase. So at that point in the process, he will have put the colour into the vase, he will have put the design into the vase, and he will have made the inside of the vase. All on a little bit of glass, which is a lot easier than on a big bit of glass. Definitely the blowing. It's really hard blowing glass, and using this, what we call the thumbing technique, does help a lot. So Martin's just going to shape this. See, he's using the newspaper, nice wet newspaper. This happens to be art in Liverpool, this newspaper. People like to know these things. And this is going to start to swell because March's breath is expanding inside and our lump of glass is becoming hollow. At this point, it's called a parazone, which means a lump of glass with a bubble in it. And all glass blowers will learn how to do this. He could make a bottle, he could make a bowl, he could make a plate, he could make a window. Yeah, but today he's going to make a vase just by doing this. And now he's going to cool the glass down. This is compressed air that he's using. Going to cool the glass down. And then we're going to go and get some more hot glass out of the furnace so that he can finish making the vase. See March's hand is always in the middle of the iron, the blowing iron, yeah? The heat travels up from the glass to the halfway point. You don't want to put your hand down near the glass. It's the sort of thing you'll only do one time and then you'll never do it again. Very, very hot. Okay? How lovely does that look? Isn't that beautiful? All that lovely hot glass over the top of our lovely bubble. All of our beautiful colours inside. And Martin's just letting the glass run down into his hand where he's got the newspaper. You don't forget the newspaper. It's not a thing we forget. Martin prefers the telegraph. That's because it gives a nice big spread. There's a lot of print on that. But we really don't mind. So you can still see the bubble of glass inside. And this is going to be the base of the vase. So Martin's bringing the glass this way. And now he's doing a really important thing. He is putting a line of weakness into the glass. It's called a jack line. It's called a jack line because you use the tools which are called jacks. Let me find some so I can show you. There we go, these are jacks. And he's pinching the glass in. He can't pinch it too hard, otherwise he can't be able to put his breath still. He's got to leave a little opening inside. But these will help him make this line of weakness, and then when the time comes, he'll be able to crack that glass away because of that line of weakness. If you forget the line of weakness, you can't get your glass off the iron. You just have to leave it in a bucket and let it break. Boo-hoo, nobody wants to forget that. Yeah, so make sure that you put that lovely jack line in. These are lovely tools, look. These are very good tools. You use these tools all your working life. It's always best to buy the best ones you can. Once you put a little bit more air in, a little bit at a time, goes down to the glass, it will expand and make the vase bigger inside. Martin making all that lovely shape with his hand. The glass isn't actually touching the paper, it's riding on the steam that's coming off the water. The water is being evaporated and the glass is sliding along on that lovely steam. So you keep the paper nice and wet, and sometimes you will cool down the really hot bit on the glass, which is where the glass is thickest. You want to keep everything at even temperature all the way. Back to our heat chamber. Now this is the hottest fire. Okay, so inside here is hotter than lava inside a volcano. Really, really hot. The only reason Martin can stand there as brave as he is, yeah, is because of this white stuff. See this white stuff inside? All of this is an insulation material thick. It looks like cotton wool. Yeah, it's made in one place in the world. They made it into tiles and put it onto the space shuttle. So when the space shuttle came back through Earth's atmosphere, which is really hot, all the heat was pushed away. One place in the world, windless. There you go, windless. Well done, windless, helping NASA go to space. Yeah? The world's first reusable spacecraft because of windless. Okay, so there we have it. You heat up your glass nice and hot, and anybody can blow glass. Yeah, because it's nice and hot and slippy. It's all about technique. You don't have to be filled with lungs the size of carpet bags. It's just nice and gentle, yeah? Your breath will just expand. Yeah? I am a gas out there, letting my breath expand into the lovely hot glass. Beautiful. So Martin's heating that glass up all the time because remember when he made the swan, it got cold really quickly, didn't it? If you leave the glass and let it get even colder, it will break very, very quickly. Here's a lovely pumpkin Martin made. Yeah? It broke because a puff of cold air got on it and broke the glass. Now Martin is doing something quite remarkable. He's using something we can't see to change the shape of that glass. That is gravity. When he's swinging the glass like that, the gravity is pulling the hot glass downwards, and that's changed the shape of the vase. Glass blowers use gravity all the time to help them make their glass. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Using stuff you can't see. Yeah? Invisible things. So Martin's back at the heat chamber, heating up all that lovely glass. Turning the glass all the time. He's really good at turning the glass. That's because he's been doing it a long time. You practice picking up some honey, yeah, on your kitchen worktop with a chopstick. Every time you stop turning it, the honey is going to run down towards the floor. So you might need to clean up afterwards or just lick everything. Right, I'm going to change this door now because our piece of glass has got quite big. So we want to use a door with a bigger hole. And we're going to take the glass off the iron. In a minute, Martin's going to give me a secret sign, which I'm ready for. And then we'll get some glass and take this lovely vase off the iron. Oh yeah, sorry, Martin was just reminding me to put our lunch in the oven. There we go. Okay, now is the time to take our lovely vase off. So I'm going to help Martin a little bit with this. I'm going to get some glass out of the furnace. Ooh. This is so hot standing here. Now this isn't very much glass, but this has got a really important job to do. This is called a punty, and this is going to hold on to our vase until Martin has finished making it. It's going to stick the punty in the middle. The glass always goes to the glass. Just need it to hang on. Hang on there, little piece of glass. This could easily break, and then the glass would fall on the floor. Okay. So, now, we can work on the rim, which, as you've just seen, is broken glass. Thank you, Martin. So if you're not sure what a rim is, here's a little yogurt pot, and this bit is a rim. Yeah? So at the moment, this is broken glass. So we need to change that. We need to make it nice and smooth. And how Martin is going to do that is by putting loads of heat on here. And it's going to be so hot, it's going to be like a little river coming round the top. All the glass is going to be moving. But we don't want the rest of it to move, because then it would be a river of glass and we want a vase at the end of the day. So Martin has got to keep the punty hot, he's got to keep the sides hot, he's got to get this super, super hot, and he's got to open it out and make it into the shape that he wants it to be. So he's going to be using our heat chamber really, really carefully, and it's where the Saphil really helps. Saphil is the name for the insulation material, and sometimes Martin is going to push all of the glass into the heat chamber, and that will heat up the punty at the back. And sometimes he will pull the glass back, and he will just have the rim there to really intensify the heat, make it really, really hot. He's watching all the time what's going on, because if you don't pay attention, if you start telling Martin what you're going to cook for dinner in the evening, you could drop your glass into the heat chamber. That would make a mess. And you've just wasted all of that glass. You can't save it. It's going to be covered in Saphil, you can't get it off. So you really got to pay attention. And he's going to be feeling as well as seeing the changes on the glass. When it gets really hot, you can feel it dragging. When it's colder, it slips around really quickly. So he's going to really be watching out for what's going on there. Just going to put some more water on the paper, keep everything nice and wet for Martin. Nice and messy. Okay, so you can see that the rim is really, really hot. Yeah? Much hotter than the back part of the vase. So Martin can start using his hand to shape the glass, and also take a little graphite board, make it nice and flat, and then using the jacks can start opening out the actual size of the rim. You saw that, didn't you, sir? Yeah? It went really easily, didn't it? Because the glass was nice and hot. Yeah? But he's going back to heat it up. Gosh, there should be a trench across his studio where Martin walks backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. He doesn't need a gym membership. Yeah, he gets his workouts when he's here making glass for the world of glass. And he makes a lot of glass. Yeah, do a lot of classes, makes all sorts of things. Yesterday, he was pouring glass into sand, making shapes from coal. Yeah? Who would have thought he would have been doing that? A few weeks ago, he was making a glass lighthouse for a gentleman called Mr. Light, who wanted a lighthouse. So, very pleased he was with it. Made all sorts of things. All of the things that you see in the shop that are made of glass, pretty much everything is made by Martin or myself. If it's small and wonky, I've made it. If it's big and beautiful, Martin's made it. Okay, so he's using some wood jacks now. These have got newspaper on them, so when you put the tool inside and touch the lovely soft glass, you're not going to leave a mark from the metal. Yeah? The attention to detail is really important. That's why Martin is a master at what he does. 25 years he's been making glass. He doesn't look old enough, does he? Yeah? He started when he was 15. No age, is it? 50. So he's really watching what's happening to the glass now, because it's coming so close to the end of the process. At the end, he also likes to just heat up the outside of the glass, just getting it flowing a little bit, gives it all a lovely smoothness. So when you pick it up, you just want to give it a lovely hug. Not until it's cooled down, though. So just some final shaping. And all of these glass colours that we use all heat up and cool down at different speeds and temperatures. The white is a really soft colour. It heats up really quickly, cools down really quickly. The red takes a bit longer to cool down. That's why it looks a bit brown at the moment. You can't see the lovely red colour that it's going to be. But it will be this colour red, which is lovely, lovely poppy red tomorrow. And there's our beautiful vase all made now. That's our marching. And tomorrow all of the colours will be showing properly when the glass has had a chance to cool down for 14 hours. So the lovely purple will be on there, the lovely pink will be on there, thank you Marcin. The punty's done its job, look. We'll put this in here and recycle the clear glass. And Marcin's just melting that glass a little bit where it was attached onto the vase. That is now called a punty skull. That shows everybody that it's been made by a human being, because you don't need that if it's been on a machine. So, Marcin's just melting that, he's putting on his lovely Kevlar gloves, and we're going to put this glass into the oven. Tons of box of sweets in there, it's lovely, all different colours. Okay, so that's the end of our demonstration. I don't know if anybody's got any questions they might like to ask. We've had a lot of information. But you didn't know this was going to be a science lesson, did you? Because for every colour and like differences in the colour, they would be using a furnace, separate furnace. So we don't have room here, and then you would have to use up all of the glass. But what they do is they melt sand, soda and lime, and you have to melt sand at 1600 degrees, and then they would add different metal oxides.